Hey everybody, I am Chris Baker from Lucky Gunner, and today I'm going to talk about the 44 Magnum Spohr N670, a revolver made with as few compromises as possible. If you're looking for the next installment of Project Rimfire, don't worry, that is coming soon. I finally got my hands on the ounce folding 22 pistol, so I will be covering that next time. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel so you don't miss it. You guys know I have often lamented the declining quality control standards among today's major revolver makers. Well, the gun we're looking at today is a move in the complete opposite direction. Now, I'm not going to hold you in suspense. That quality comes at a price, and that price is $4,200. That's well outside my personal budget for a new wheel gun, and I suspect the same is true for many of you, but that's okay, because even if I can't afford this gun, it brings me great joy to know that someone cares enough to produce a shooting machine as fine as this one. And by the time we're done here, I hope you feel the same way. Spohr is a relatively new company. It was started by Thomas Spohr, a German gunsmith with a very German commitment to quality, craftsmanship, and just overall technical excellence. After years of doing custom work on Smith & Wesson revolvers, he figured he could build a better gun if he were to just start from scratch. So Spohr launched his own company in 2019 with a line of 357 revolvers. The design is based on the Smith L-Frame 686 with a number of improvements. This year they added a 22 long rifle L-Frame, and now the 44 Magnum N670. The sample they loaned us has a 6.5-inch barrel. They also are available with 3, 4, or 5-inch barrels. This is a new frame size for Spohr. It's roughly the same size as Smith & Wesson in-frame, so you get 6 shots of 44 Magnum. They're also planning an 8-shot 357 version for the near future. The grip portion of the frame has a round butt profile, but it's actually not in-frame sized. It's patterned after the medium K and L frame, which offers a much wider selection of aftermarket grip options. It comes with a set of premium nil wood grips. They look fantastic, but for this caliber, I prefer something with a little cushioning, so I swapped them out for a set of Hogue wraparound grips for most of my range time with this gun. The N670 is made from all machined steel, and it is heavy. It weighs 53 ounces unloaded, a little over 58 loaded. That puts it closer to the weight of a Ruger Red Hawk than a Smith & Wesson 629. If that's not heavy enough for you, the underlug is hollowed out so you can add weights. It comes with a plastic placeholder rod, and tungsten barrel weights are available from Spohr. The weight of this gun tames the recoil a little better than a lighter model, but it's still 44 Magnum recoil. You're gonna feel it, but the Hogue wraparound grips and a pair of shooting gloves made it comfortable to shoot even for a couple hundred rounds in a single range session. There are a lot of user-friendly features here. They've improved the parts that needed it, and they left alone the stuff that's already working for most shooters. Going with the medium grip profile is a great example. They also kept the Smith & Wesson hole pattern for the rear sight, so you can install any Smith-compatible rear sight or optic mount. I replaced the included LPA adjustable sight with a Gideon Omega green dot optic on a Trijicon adapter plate. Say what you want about optics on revolvers, there is no better way to find out what kind of mechanical accuracy a handgun is really capable of. A few other nice touches here: an extra wide cylinder release latch. The chambers are numbered on the cylinder face, which is important if you're chasing maximum precision. The extractor star has alignment pins like the old Smith & Wessons used to, and the cylinder locks on the crane instead of on the end of the ejector rod. If we pop off the side plate, which is easy to do without hurting anything thanks to the Torx head screws, the action looks pretty familiar for anyone who's poked around inside a Smith & Wesson. What stands out is the mainspring. In place of the old leaf spring design, we have a user adjustable coil spring. And you don't actually have to even remove the side plate to adjust it. You just remove the grips, then loosen the set screws in this little brass housing down here. Then you can adjust the tension on the mainspring, which controls the weight of the double action trigger. It's like an instant trigger job. With the spring set as low as it would go, the trigger pull measured about 7.5 pounds. Maxed out the other direction, it was just under 12 pounds. I found that with it set around 8.5 to 9 pounds, I was getting reliable ignition across multiple brands of ammo. And because you're not messing with the rebound spring, you still get a really nice, strong reset. And the single action is also unaffected. It stays at about 2 pounds. It was really nice to get the action tuned just where I wanted it in just a few minutes. Normally that would require a visit to the gunsmith or ordering some spring kits and multiple range trips. Regardless of the trigger weight, the action is incredibly smooth. It's consistent through the full range of motion with no stacking. It doesn't have quite the same feel as a well-tuned Smith & Wesson action. It's kind of its own thing. I like it, but it's not what impressed me most about the Spohr N670. What really made me appreciate this gun was this 5-shot group fired at 25 yards that measured just 0.8 of an inch. And then the next group at 0.6, and then another 0.8. So I moved the bench back to 50 yards and I got nearly perfect linear dispersion. 1.4 inch average group size. That's double the distance, double the group size. That's not just good accuracy. That is an uncommon level of consistency for a handgun. Now, it wasn't quite as accurate with every load I tried, but it really seemed to like the Hornady 240 grain XTP, which is often considered one of the best 44 Magnum hunting loads available. And it wasn't just accurate from the bench. I went 5 for 5 on our steel target at 100 yards, firing double action unsupported, and 4 out of 5 at 150 single action. That was with the sun right in my face and the optic window. I broke one of my shots a little early and missed, but that is no fault of the gun. I feel confident in saying that if you feed it the right ammo, the Spohr's mechanical accuracy is effectively beyond the shooter's reach. The gun itself is never going to be the limiting factor. 4 out of 5, 150 yards, not bad. Now, I don't have the technical knowledge to explain exactly why this gun is so accurate. It might have something to do with the exceptionally tight cylinder gap. The polygonal rifling in the barrel might help. Certainly makes the barrel easier to clean. And by the way, Spohr says it's completely okay to fire non-jacketed lead bullets through this barrel. It's not going to hurt anything. Spohr makes a big deal of the fact that there are no MIM parts in their revolvers. I think that's worth some context though. Among revolver fans, MIM, or metal injection molding, has a reputation that's probably more severe than it really deserves. When it's used correctly, it has some real advantages, especially for the larger manufacturers. Without it, truly affordable revolvers likely would not exist today at all. But simply avoiding MIM doesn't get you a gun like this. There are plenty of pre-MIM Smith & Wessons out there that don't come close to the performance of the N670. What separates this revolver is not the absence of a particular manufacturing process. It's the discipline that's behind the whole operation. There's tight tolerances, careful execution, and strict quality control. Spohr's revolvers are not about any one manufacturing method. They are the ultimate rejection of lowered standards. So that's the Spohr N670, a big $4,000 middle finger to mediocrity. If you do end up making some questionable financial decisions to pay for this gun, don't forget to set aside a few bucks to buy some ammo and order it from us with lightning fast shipping at Lucky Gunner.